All right, I think I'm live here. I'm gonna wait for some people to get in the chat before I start off. But I do think I'm live. Hopefully, I'm live. Hopefully, you all can see me pretty good. So, I just want to start this live by saying I hope everyone is doing good today. It's been quite some time since I did a live stream. I've been pretty busy, hey, Mama Bubbles. Oh, how are you? So good to see that you're here in my live stream. It's been a good time behind the scenes. Just a little quick recap before I get into the news. I've been doing pretty good. I hope you all too. I have a lot of exciting news, happening in my life. It seems like I'm having a lot of positive things going on. So I don't know if you all can tell, but I'm in a happy space right now. I'm really happy and I'm working towards even greater happiness. So I hope you all are too. Hey, Junior, how are you? I love this song. How are you guys? I hope you guys are doing great today. So we have a lot to talk about in this stream. I'm going to give it a few minutes for some more people to kind of get in the stream, but we have a lot to talk about. And you all know me, I love to do live streams and I love to come on here on YouTube, but I haven't been going live as often. So for me to actually go live, that means, I really want to talk about everything that's going on. Love this song, said, you look amazing. Thank you so much. You are amazing. I love you guys so much. Mama Bubbles said, I'm so happy for you. Thank you so much. I hope you all are in a great place as well. I just really want to, move forward on my channel. I think it's about that time. And I was looking at my subscriber count the other day and I was like, okay, so I'm kind of getting somewhere. I'm inching up there. And I feel like if I put more energy into my channel, then I'll get a great return. So I really do love you all. And I really do hope you all are doing great. I hope that the live is still great. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you all can actually see me still. I want to make sure my connection is good because sometimes it acts weird on my end and I can't really tell if the connection is great or not. But once again, before we get into the stream, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that my connection is good and make sure you all are good because I know I want to give people a few minutes to kind of get the stream going. Okay, cool. Thumbs up. Y'all can see me? Okay. Because for some reason, the top chat number is acting really weird. Okay, y'all are good? All right, cool. But before I get into the news, I do want to say this really quickly. I am going to be doing a video, another live stream pretty soon because I'm actually looking for some moderators on my channel. I know in the past I had some moderators, and I know I kind of fell off since then, but I really want to reopen that for you all so you all can, if you want to support me and be a moderator, that'll be great. So not in this stream, but I will be doing a separate stream on moderators if you do want to become a mod here on my platform and on my channel. And I'll just kind of go over what you all are supposed to do and, things to look out for and how you can just better support the community. Because believe it or not, I get trolls here on YouTube. It's crazy because I don't even have a big channel like most people do. And I don't have a big channel yet, like most people do. And, I still get my fair share of trolls. So I definitely want to make sure that I do have moderators, especially moving forward on YouTube as I go live a lot more and things like that. So be on the lookout for that live stream. I'll make sure that I post a reminder in the community tab as well whenever I do that. So other than that, are you all ready to kind of get into the news here? I know I am. I'm ready to get into the news because let's start with 420. All right. 420, April 20th was a crazy day. I think everybody's stress level was really high. People were really concerned with everything going on. Yeah, trolls are awful. Yeah, trolls can just be awful on your channel. Love this song. Thank you so much. But getting back to the news, 420, everybody, the craziest date ever, right? National 420 Day. I feel like everybody's stress level was high. People were ready to riot. People were ready to basically lose their minds, especially because it was what I'm referring to is the Derek trial with George Floyd. So we were all anticipating what's the verdict. And it's kind of funny. before I was looking at like the verdict, I remember I was watching the closing arguments live on YouTube, and I was just like, man, you all sound like, the closing arguments sounded crazy. And at one point they were saying, oh, this could be like a mistrial. And I'm just like, what? Like, this is crazy. So I knew people would lose their minds and snap if it wasn't the results they wanted. So let's go ahead and get into the news here. We're going to be talking about 3 topics today. I'll be talking about the trial with Derek. I'll be talking about this Maryland pastor. Okay, this pastor has been accused of PPP fraud. And that is something that's been going on a lot with a lot of these businesses and companies and people who have like nonprofits and things like that. We have a lot of fraud going on. So I'll be talking about him as well. And then I'll be also talking about this viral video of this Army lieutenant being assaulted and pepper sprayed for absolutely no reason. And he does have a lawsuit out. And there's just been a lot going on in this world. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the results of this trial. All right. So let me go ahead and click this here. All right. So as you guys can see here on the screen, let me actually zoom in so you all can see it fully. So as you can see here, everybody, as of 4/20, this is brought to you by CNN. And it states here that Derek Chauvin has been found guilty of all 3 charges for killing George Floyd. And everybody was biting their nails. Everybody was so nervous and things like that. But as of 4/20, everyone, he has been found guilty of all 3 charges for killing George Floyd. Now, it states here that Derek Chauvin, 45, was convicted on charges of 2nd-degree unintentional murder, 3rd-degree murder, and 2nd-degree manslaughter. It states that the jury deliberated for more than 10 hours over 2 days, and they're coming to their decision and things of that sort. It states that afterward, he had like this crazy reaction on his face and that he did request for bail, but his bail was revoked and he was placed into handcuffs and removed from the court through a side door. So can you all hear me good in the chat? Just let me know if you all can hear me pretty good. Okay, I think you all can. Yes. Guilty, everybody. He has been found guilty of all 3 charges. Like, it's just, let me come back on the screen. This entire thing has been crazy. Like, I was holding my breath because I was like, if these people come back on this screen and says this man is not guilty of anything, I swear the world is going to detonate. It's going to just implode and blow up because people are already on edge from, the Tiana Taylor situation. And, we already dealt with this, brutality and things like that. And the fact that, people were actually like backing up and defending his actions, it just put a bad taste in my mouth. It seriously did, because nowhere in police protocol does it state to put your knee on someone's neck in order to apprehend them or in order to make them comply. I don't recollect. I'm not even a police officer. And I, as a citizen, was able to do my research and see that that's not in any sort of police protocol whatsoever. So the fact that certain people were defending this, it just shocked me. And I'm just like, right is right and wrong is wrong. It doesn't matter what race you are, ethnicity you are. It doesn't matter if you are a female, if you are male. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And that entire situation was extremely crazy. So I'm going to show you all a couple of pictures of everything. And that's him when he was actually found guilty on all charges. As you can see, they handcuffed him, placed him under arrest and things like that. And he was whisked off by like 2 officers. And I know that a lot of people were just so excited and so happy because it just finally felt like we had, some justice here. It was just crazy. And I know that a lot of people also stated that he had a crazy look on his face, So let me pull it up. I have it here on Twitter right here. Let me go ahead and go like this. Okay, so this was it on Twitter. Let me stop the camera. On Twitter, so as you can see, someone stated here, this was Derek's face as the guilty verdict was read. He thought he was going to get away with it. He didn't. but many have. Hashtag the Derek Chauvin trial. Hashtag George Floyd. And look at the expression on this guy's face. He seriously looks severely shocked. He looks shocked, like, what is going on? Like, why am I found guilty? You know, I think at the end of the day, he probably seriously thought he was going to get away with this, especially with him consulting with his lawyers. They probably reassured him, like, listen, we're going to try to get you off. We're going to try to do this and that. But at the end of the day, he was found guilty. And I've been seeing memes of this guy all over social media already. People are like making memes of him because the expression on his face is like, he's shocked. And it's like, why are you shocked that you were found guilty? Like, why are you shocked? You should not be shocked for that. But again, this guy was just saying, like, hey, he thought he was going to get away with it. This is 2021. You are not going to be getting away with anything like this anymore. And, you know, he didn't. He did not get away. So I think 420 was a beautiful day. I also want to share with you all some people's reactions as well to him being found guilty. I know I had another screenshot here. I'm going to go ahead and expand this as well. And this is from Twitter. Twitter is hilarious, everybody. Like, Twitter be popping for real. Like, if you all want the real tea and you want to know like what exactly is going on, I think that you should definitely go to Twitter and type in whatever trending hashtag you're looking for, because they be off the chain. So someone stated 1 down, 3 to go, and they put the hashtag of the trial. And if you all aren't familiar, the other 3 people in the mugshots are the other 3 officers that were on the scene, and they were actually aiding, you know, this entire brutality against George Floyd. So a lot of people just had a lot to say about everything, and this is just crazy how he was found guilty. People want the other people arrested, the other cops involved and arrested. We just want to see justice at this point in time. You know, it's time for change. It's time for positive change, and we don't want to continually be in a society where we're just afraid. We're afraid to do anything. And, you know, at the end of the day, you have to take accountability for yourself. But with that being said, I really do feel like if you find yourself in some trouble, and if you are, you know, being placed under arrest or anything that you're doing, you should have a sense of safety. Like, okay, I feel safe. You know, these people are here to help me. Not I have this sense of fear when I go out in society because I don't even know if I'm going to die today. You know, it shouldn't be like that. So let me go ahead and read what you guys are saying in the comments, in the chat. Let me see what you got going on here. Zen stated it is very sad. I definitely agree. Everything that's going on in the world right now is extremely sad. And every day I wake up, I see crazy news. I see crazy off the wall news. And I'm just like, man, like this is sad. You know, a lot of things that we go through is something that, you know, we just can't even fathom or even comprehend at times. Mama Bubble stated, I thought they were already arrested. They have been arrested. Those were like their mugshots. I think what people are saying is they want them to actually be charged to the full extent of the law, just like Derek was. And I definitely agree. I think the entire video gives me chills. I don't like watching the video of the whole George Floyd thing because it just gives me a sick feeling internally to know that this man took his last couple of breaths and he was screaming for his mom. So that's really sad. But yes, to confirm, they have been arrested. Let me see what you all are saying in the chat again. Mama Bubbles, you also stated, I'm surprised that they found him guilty on all 3 charges. I'm glad, though. Yeah, I think the entire world was shocked. And speaking of shock, let me go ahead and show you all this small clip that I had put up here of people actually being really, really overly excited to see him be charged. It was the verdict, actually. So let me go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to show you all this video. And this is like something I've seen on Twitter where everybody was wanting to go ahead and look at the verdict. And it's basically a reaction video. So let me pull this up for you all really quick. Let me see something. Here we go.
Manner as to count 1, unintentional second-degree murder while committing a felony, find the defendant guilty.
All right. So did you guys see that? I'm going to do it one more time because I know I was trying to get it together, but let me go ahead and put that back on the screen.
Manner is to count one, unintentional second-degree murder while committing a felony, find the defendant guilty.
All right, everybody. So I hope you all seen that pretty good. Like you just seen like how happy everybody was. And let me put this on Zoom. How happy everybody was. And just like, I think honestly, like when I was watching the reaction video, I really feel like the girl that was like in the hat, I think she thought it was going to say not guilty because they read the verdict and it said guilty, and it took her a few seconds to react. So I feel like it didn't really like register until a few seconds later. She was like, what? Oh, guilty. And they all like started yelling, screaming, jumping for joy. And I really, we kept the faith all throughout the trial. But honestly, we're so, as sad as it sounds, we're so used of the injustice here. We really didn't think that he would be found guilty. So I think we were all in shock. We were all in shock, and it was definitely a joyous time. So again, let me go ahead and look inside of the chat here and see what you guys are saying. If I keep looking down, it's because I'm looking at the chat in my phone. But let me go ahead and look in the chat because I know this was like a crazy, crazy time. Mama Bubble said, that was great to see. Amanda, welcome to the stream. Thank you all so much. Don't forget to like this video. It's free and it supports my platform. Thank you all so much for being here. You also stated, Mama Bubbles, that you cry every time you see the video. And yeah, I can't watch it. Hey, Amanda, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Zen said you get what you put out. That's big facts. Big facts. That's why I just try to be a good person. And like, I really do feel like, some people go through things and they go through situations where they didn't deserve it, but just try to be a good person in life. Even if you want to be a bad person, just try to be on your best behavior. Sending love and light, you stated, and you said we all need to come together. Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is not the end. I know a lot of people feel like, oh, this is the end, or this is it. But to me, it's just like, nah, like there's more. Like this is just one, excuse the band. Hey, this is just one, thing, one feather in our cap versus many. We still have a lot going on. I know Dante Wright. There's been a young boy, 20 years old, and he was recently killed by police. The police officer thought that she had her taser when in reality it was her gun. 20 years old, gone. So we need justice for that. We need justice for many. It's so many. It goes on and on and on. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. The tip of the iceberg with that. Sorry if you hear banging. My mic is kind of like acting crazy. But yeah, this is the beginning, and we're not going to back down. We are going to keep making sure that we keep going with what's right and what's wrong. And again, it's not about race or ethnicity. Whoever feels like they are facing a crossroad where it's injustice being done, I hope you do get your justice, because, a lot of people feel like they don't. And it's sad. We're all human beings. We're human and we all hurt the same. We all hurt the same. Doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, where you come from. We're all human and we're all here. Let me go ahead and look. Love this song. You put out a beautiful comment and you said, the excitement to see justice served is amazing. We still lost Floyd and we will always remember him. And hopefully it helps with preventing police brutality. Rip George Floyd. Absolutely. And that was a beautiful comment, a very, very beautiful comment. And I definitely agree with you. And who would have thought that he would have been, this, what I think the word is a martyr, if I'm saying it correctly. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But who would have basically, he died for us, essentially. Like, I really do feel like he passed away and it was unfortunate, but from his passing, it created change, beautiful change, and change that we should continue to see. Zen stated, you're a great soul. Love you. Thank you so much. And thank you for being a part of my platform. And I hope everybody is enjoying the stream for what it is thus far. we still have some more topics to talk about. So let me go ahead and get on to the next topic. I think I'm going to leave it where Love This Song stated, "Rip to George Floyd." And I hope that this is a learning lesson for a lot of these police officers who feel like they can do anything and get away with it just because they're wearing a badge. You know, this is a wake-up call. This seriously is a wake-up call. And rip to George Floyd and prayers to his family. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually jump into our second topic of today. We're going to talk about this Maryland pastor who has been actually buying cars. He purchased a Tesla and he purchased it with PPP money. Now, I'm just like, okay, well, where'd you get that money from? Things like that. And come to find out, it was just fraud. It was PPP fraud. He was caught. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about this now. All right. So let me go ahead here. If you all don't know, let me scroll on down and show you guys. All right. So this pastor right here, look at this picture, yo. I'm sorry. Like, look at the look on his face. This pastor has been accused of taking PPP money that was not, it was fraudulent PPP money. And he purchased a Tesla. Pastor Rudolph Brooks Jr. is his name. And he's not too far from me. Maryland is only a couple of hours from me. But this has been trending too. I don't know if you all have been seeing this going around. I don't know if you all have been, hearing this story. But there's been a lot of fraud going on. Just like one of the BLM, what is it? She's like co-founder of CEO of BLM. She was found guilty of not found guilty, but she had purchased all these homes with all the donation money. And it's crazy how we have leaders such as this man, a religious leader, taking PPP money and spending it on Teslas. So let's go ahead and hop into this story because I'm just like, what in the world? What's going on? It's just too much going on. So what I'm going to do is share my screen here. And we're going to read off this article about this pastor here. So let me go ahead, Chrome tab, and let me click and share my screen with you all. All right, let's go ahead and see. All right, so it states here, hopefully you all can see the screen. Well, I think what I need to do is take down my thing first. Let me go ahead and do this. Okay, hopefully you all are now able to see my screen. All righty. All right, can you all see my screen now? All right, so it states here, fall from grace, and it says Maryland pastor Rudolph Brooks Jr. is facing 20 years for using $3.5 million in COVID PPP loans to buy a Tesla, the FBI states. All right, so let's go ahead and read this article, you all. You all know I love calling people out who's doing crazy stuff when you're supposed to be a leader. So it states a Maryland pastor is facing up to 20 years in prison after he allegedly used $3.5 million in COVID PPP loans to buy a Tesla. The FBI alleged that Rudolph Brooks Jr. used the funds to buy a total of 39 used cars, including a Tesla, a Bentley, and more. And it also states that the FBI seized $2.2 million from his accounts. Now, let me go ahead and scroll down more. This is a picture of his ministry, a picture of his church here in Maryland. Actually, let me click this. Let me see all the pictures here. And let me close this ad so you all can see. Close this ad. So yeah, this is his church here in Maryland. Once again, this is a photo of him, of what he looks like. That's him in his little church suit and, getting his preach on and things like that, Once again, this is another picture of him. As you can see, he has the entire ensemble. He looks very presentable, very nice. He looks welcoming and warming. He looks like a loving pastor. I don't knock that as a person. But let me go ahead to this article. It states here, that Brooks filed for the economic injury disaster loan documentation on April 7th of 2020, according to a press release, and he applied for the PPP loans. Now, it states that he also filed for PPP loans for his Cars Direct business on May 9, 2020. Now, that is what confused me. It stated that he has a Cars Direct business, but there were never any cars to show for until he recently purchased 39 cars. So that was kind of confusing as well. But let me go ahead and read more into this. It states that his Cars Direct businesses were forfeited in 2012 and revived on May 28, 2020. It states that he allegedly filed for two other loans, one for $1.8 million and then another for $200,000 for other companies. Now, according to the Kingdom Tabernacle, which is his church, according to their website, it states that he is the lead pastor at the Washington, D.C. ministry. Okay. So yeah, this guy went ahead and he bought 39 used cars with the PPP money that he received. And, he is definitely going to be facing some charges here because the FBI already seized a lot of what he had coming in. Once again, here's some more information here. It states that the IRS records do not reflect any tax filings made by Cars Direct for any tax period, indicating that Cars Direct has not even hired employees or even paid unemployment taxes. Additionally, the Maryland Department of Labor has no record of Cars Direct even paying wages or even receiving wages. So this is crazy. This is just fraud. I mean, it's plain and simple as that. It's fraud. I'm not understanding like why people do this and think they're going to get away with it. But at the end of the day, I think that whatever he has coming is just something that's meant for him to have, because at the end of the day, you can't just do things like that. I understand that there is a pandemic going on. I do understand and get that. However, I don't think it's cool to, do things like that. And now he's facing up to 20 years in prison because of his actions. Now, my thing is this with this pastor. I feel like a lot of these pastors preach to the choir. A lot of them say, hey, it's better to give than it is to receive. It's not good to, what's the word? Gluttony, greed. And, you preach things like this, but you don't practice what you preach. And that's what I have an issue with. Don't get on the pulpit. Don't try to sit over here and, pastor me. Don't try to pastor other people when you yourself are doing things that are not of what you're preaching. And, a lot of these pastors do that. I mean, I forgot what his name, what's this guy name, but he was like allegedly like a relationship kind of counselor. He was like he's really big here on YouTube, and I forgot his name, but he was trying to tell men to not cheat on women, don't cheat on your wife. And then to come to find out he had been having like an affair for so many years. Do you all know who I'm talking about? It's recent news, but that just tells me right there, you have people who are in this world who want to be leaders. They want the fame, they want the glory, they want this and that, but then you don't practice what you preach. And, it's disheartening because we want to be able to trust people. We want to be able to put people in positions of power where we feel safe, we feel nurtured, we feel like, man, I'm going to church, I'm receiving, the word of Christ or whatever your religion is. And then come to find out the leader that's supposed to be leading you is, doing things that are fraudulent and that goes completely against what they're shoving down your throats, essentially. So let me go ahead and read what's in the chat here in the comment section. I know you all probably have a lot to say here. Let me go ahead and see here. Let me think. Mama Bubble said, you would think the government would check before they gave out PPP. Now, that is another point that I love that you made, because I did see comments online like that. Like, well, man, how are these people getting like PPP money and, they're not entitled to it? How are they, receiving such things and they weren't supposed to? Like, so yeah, that's definitely something that I do feel they should double check for. I really do feel also that at the time people were, and such. The economy is getting a little bit better, but when the pandemic first hit, you had the unemployment rate spiked. So I did read online that they were just handing out PPP money here, there to whoever applied. And he's not the only person who had did a PPP fraud. There's been many people during this entire pandemic getting caught up in this PPP fraud. So I definitely do feel like they should do something in a sense like, hey, do a double check, verify your taxes. It stated that his taxes didn't add up. Well, why was I not verified prior to you all dispensing him this money, right? If you apply for something, isn't the application, ready and needed for that person on the back end to review it, make sure everything lines up? It's called underwriters and things like that to make sure your information checks out. So somebody dropped the ball on the other end too. It's not just him. I definitely see that point. It's not just him. Let me go ahead and see what else you all are saying in the chat. It states that people don't want to take their own advice. I definitely agree. You have a lot of people here who don't want to take their own advice. They don't want to do anything of that sort, but they want, the fame and the glory. And like I said, I just see a lot of people like religious leaders. I see even normal people on YouTube, who come on here and they say videos or say how they feel, but then they don't even practice anything, and it's just like me coming on here talking about weight loss, and then behind the scenes, I'm not even eating healthy. I'm not working out. I'm not doing anything. So you can't be a walking contradiction. That's not good. It's really, really not good. Let me go ahead and see what you all are saying in the chat. Amanda said, wow. Yeah, wow. Like, it's just crazy. It's just really nuts out here what people are doing. And I really do think people are getting desperate for money. They're really, really getting desperate. Love this song said, thank you for reporting this PPP fraud. This is so sad. I didn't even hear. Yeah, this story was going around. I think I seen it online. I seen it, I think on Twitter or somewhere. I seen it where this religious leader, he definitely wanted to have his cake and eat it too. And I don't feel like that was the right thing to do. I really don't. And again, I've seen this thing online here. I'm going to show you all. It states here, I would go to church, but all they want is money, right? And then you have the little piggy bank, and then you have the money inside the piggy bank. And what stood out to me about this image that I came across was that this is big, big facts. Like, I can't even imagine you all doing a story time on how many times growing up, I've just seen things in churches that just weren't right. And I'm just like, nowadays they even have ATMs in churches. They have ATMs in churches. It's outside the church. They do a lot of things to swindle you in. They do a lot of hoopla and hollering. And nowadays, I personally feel like a lot of these pastors are in competition with one another. They definitely want to be the top pastor to go to, because you have a lot of pastors doing a lot of fugazi things. Like, I seen this one pastor. Oh, I'm sorry, my mic is dropping. I seen this one pastor online, and he was trying to emulate the fact that he was like an angel or something like that. And he seriously had himself harnessed in the air. And as he's preaching the Bible, he's descending down from the ceiling of the church down onto the pulpit. Have y'all had to have seen that video? I feel like someone has seen it out there, and he's descending down in the air, on strings, down to the pulpit preaching the Bible. And that went viral. I mean, it got millions of views. People are like, who is this pastor? I want to go to his church and this and this. And I'm like, you want to go to this guy's church because he's being a goofball and hanging himself from the ceiling to emulate that he's an angel or something? Since that's not in the book, that's not in the big book to do that. What? So it's just these pastors are really funny to me. A lot of them are really goofy to me. They do things that I just feel like it's a popularity contest more than anything. They're trying to be top notch. They want all the memberships. They want to be the righteous leader and things like that, but they aren't doing right. And whatever is in the dark comes to light, everybody. So let me go ahead and see what you all are saying in the chat here. It's just really crazy. Love this song. Said ATMs in the church. Yes, ATMs are in the church. I remember growing up, there was this one church I went to. They had an ATM right in the, what do you call it? Like right in the foyer when you walk in, there was an ATM smack dab there. And if you didn't have your tithes and offering, excuse me, sir, ma'am, you can go to the ATM outside. We'll see you when you come back in for that tithing and that offering. Like, they don't play those games. They don't play those games. I didn't even know that many churches have now implemented ATMs. There's even things now to where you can like pay your offerings like through cash apps and just different avenues to where you don't even have to tangibly have your money either. So it's getting crazy out here. I didn't know of that neither. It's crazy. It states here, Ramsterdam stated, learn from history. If you have to pay for church, walk away. Yeah, it's a lot going on in the churches, man. A lot of false prophets. But, that's what they say. In the last days, you're going to have a lot of false prophets. They will say that bad is good and good is bad. So, again, at the end of the day, you all, it's just crazy that we have people such as him who is supposed to be a religious leader that we can look up to, and disappointing us because you want to go ahead and have a PPP scheme and fraud and do this to your congregation. So enough of this guy. I will definitely give you all an update once. This picture, look at his face. Like, he looks so goofy to me. Like, look at his face, y'all. Like, he looks like he's up to something. Look at that suit. I wonder how much did that suit cost that he has on? Probably costs a couple $100. You know what I'm saying? He got a flex for the church. Y'all know that. Y'all know he got a flex for the church. But enough of that guy. Again, when I have an update, I'll update you guys on that. Are y'all laughing at me in the comments? Y'all laughing at me? Yeah, he got a flex for the congregation, Amanda. You know that he got to be, on his top-notch game when he go in there, So, I want to talk to you all. I want to transition into the last topic that I found really, really interesting. Okay. This last topic hit home for me because Amanda said church flex. Exactly. Flexing for the church. You got to flex for all the sisters in there, all the deacons, and, got to look good. I personally feel like some churches nowadays, it's just a goofy show that you pay to go see. Your tithes and offering is your ticket. And you're seriously paying to go see goofiness. I mean, you got pastors up there who are just hoopling and hollering. And I forgot which pastor, but he took a bunch of money and threw it on the stage and he was walking all over the money. And I'm like, what? I feel like y'all are paying for this is a comedy show. I mean, all we need is some drinks. What y'all gonna do? Pull that out the Bible and say, God had wine, so let's pass out wine to the congregation. Let's all drink now. Like, a lot of it is just crazy, yo. For real. I can't get with it. Love this song. I can't get with it. I don't understand. I don't get it. But again, transitioning into y'all are funny. Transitioning into the last topic here. I want to go ahead and talk about this Army lieutenant that was actually pepper sprayed by a cop. And since then, the cop has been fired. Now, let me go ahead and put this up on the screen here. Let me see. I know you all have been seeing this go around a lot. So have you all been seeing this a lot? This officer was actually fired for pepper spraying an Army lieutenant, and he is an Army medic. And a lot of what I was reading online, which I'll go ahead and pull up the article here in a bit, but I was reading that this guy was driving and the cops pulled him over because they did not see his tag on his car. They didn't see it at all. So they pulled him over. He was trying to explain to them, no, I have my back tag. I have my tags and things like that. And they wanted him to step out of the car. Now, his defense is, the Army lieutenant's defense is, he had his hands fully out of the car. He didn't want to step out the car because he was actually afraid that any movement he made, any movement that this man made, he thought that they were going to shoot him. And he said it on camera. And, YouTube is extremely picky when it comes to videos I can play. I cannot play the full duration of this video clip. However, it is on YouTube. If you just type in like Army Lieutenant sprayed by police officer, you will be able to see the full video. But these are just a little bit of the screen captures that I was able to take. And he stated in the video, like, listen, it's not that I do not want to comply. I'm fully compliant. However, I feel like my safety is at risk if I do any sudden movements. And he kept his hands outside of the vehicle the entire duration of the video. And because a cop didn't, the cop wanted him to step outside and things like that, and he didn't feel safe to do so, the cop took it upon himself to then pepper spray this Army lieutenant in the face. All right. So this has been going on. This is the cop right here that actually administered the pepper spray, him right here. This is the cop. And since then, he has been fired. All right. Since then, he has been fired. So what I did was I'm going to go ahead and let me see, exit this full screen. And I'm going to play like the small clip of the cop actually pepper spraying him in the face, because again, I don't feel like I can play the full duration of the clip without YouTube striking my channel, because I don't own the rights to that video. But I do have a small clip here. All right, let me see. Here's a small clip right here. Let me turn my camera off.
Get out.
All right, so I know it was really quick, but I'm gonna do it once again. Everybody, this is the cop actually pepper spraying the Army lieutenant because the lieutenant did not feel safe getting out of the vehicle. Let me do this again.
Get out.
All right, so I know that was really quick and things like that, but again, I can't play the full clip. That's on YouTube. All right, so this hit home for me, because if you all know that a lot of you all who aren't new to my channel, who've been rocking with me since day one, you all know that I am a veteran of the U.S. Air Force. So seeing him in his Army uniform, like in his uniform, and the fact that he has his hands out the window, he's confused on as to why they even want him to step out the car. But not only that, he is genuinely scared to touch the door handle. This cop that he was dealing with, the one that pepper sprayed him, that cop was so on edge already that I do feel like if he would have moved, if the lieutenant would have moved any sort of way or touched the door, did anything, I do feel like that cop would have been trigger happy, meaning he would have wanted to pull out the gun and shoot him. Now, if you go and listen to the full duration of the clip, you can hear the cop saying, what are you, a sergeant? What are you, a lieutenant? And he's like, I'm a lieutenant. And the cop says something slick back to him to the nature of, I'm a sergeant too. I'm a this and that too. And I'm just like, man, is this cop on a power trip? It doesn't matter if you're a sergeant. It doesn't matter if you're a lieutenant. What does that have to do with why you're stopping me? You're pulling me over. What is your probable cause? Because the body cam footage showed that his tag was displayed. It just was not displayed in the normal area, but the dealership had put the plates on in the upper right-hand corner of the vehicle. And it's on the body cam that the plates are there. So you all stopped this man for nothing, harassed this man. You threw him to the ground. Before you threw him to the ground, you pepper sprayed him. You pepper sprayed this man, okay, for no reason at all. He was fully compliant. His hands were out the window the entire time. He's not a threat. He didn't act in unfashionable manner. He was extremely calm. Even when they pepper sprayed him, he was extremely calm. And you all did what? Throw him to the ground, accuse him of not having plates when he did. When is this going to stop? I don't understand what goes through the minds of many when they are in a situation such as this. I just feel like a lot of that was pointless. A lot of that was a power trip. A lot of it between the cop and the cop and the lieutenant, I feel like the cop was trying to prove a point or something to the lieutenant, like, yeah, you might have your Army uniform on, but I'm the cop and I'm still in charge. You know, I'm top dog and you're not, and I'm gonna show you. But you know, the truth of the matter is it backfired. He's fired. Good. So let's go ahead and read the article, y'all. Let me go ahead and share my screen. We're gonna read this article on him actually being fired since then. So let me click this right here. All right, let's go ahead and read this article. All right, this article is brought to you by the New York Times, everybody. It states right here, officer who pepper sprayed a Black Army officer is now fired. Now, his name is Joe Gutierrez, who's the cop that sprayed him. He is accused of using excessive force during a traffic stop in Windsor, Virginia. This has to be in my state. Y'all know I'm in Virginia. Y'all know I'm in the 757. I'm in Virginia. This happened in Windsor, Virginia. And it states that he was accused of using excessive force. And I really do feel like Windsor, Virginia, this probably does happen a lot often, because I've heard like crazy things about Windsor, Virginia. I'm gonna just leave that there. So, okay, it states here, a police officer in Virginia who confronted a uniformed Black Army lieutenant at gunpoint and doused him with pepper spray during a traffic stop, an exchange captured on video, has been fired, officials said on Sunday. This was April 13th, all right? Now, it states that the officer, Joe Gutierrez, was terminated for his role in the December 5th encounter involving Karen Nazario, a second lieutenant in the U.S. Army Medical Corps in the town of Windsor, Virginia. It states that officials said an internal investigation had been determined that Mr. Gutierrez's actions were not consistent with the department's policies. They did not provide any further details on when Mr. Gutierrez had been fired. It states that the body cam footage of the encounter has drawn widespread attention and criticism of Mr. Gutierrez, as well as another officer who was also involved in the traffic stop. Both officers were sued on April 2nd in the U.S. District Court in Norfolk, Virginia, by Lieutenant Nazario, who has accused the officers of using excessive force and violating his constitutional rights. All right, I know that was a mouthful. You know, this is something that I'm just like, wow. You know, these cops out here, they think they're doing something. You know, when people act like this and when people act like they're better than you and they're higher than you and they want to police you around and bully you around when you did nothing, it just shocks me, because I'm just like, you all have to know this is not going to end in your favor. Like, the cop had to have known that. And you know how I do actually know that? Because again, if you all go and you watch the full duration of the clip, you can hear the cop bargaining with the lieutenant on camera. You all have to go view it for yourselves. He's bargaining with him on camera, and he's like, you know, if you can just, you know, not go any further with this, lieutenant, if you can just kind of drop this, I'll let you go. I won't, arrest you. I'll take the cuffs off you. You can be on your way. He was trying to like bargain with him, and it's like, that's how you did something wrong, man. You crossed the line. And you should have known the moment you did that, it was going to backfire. And the fact that you did that to someone in Army uniform, I see myself like, what's going on? Okay, no, I do have a plate in the back. It's just in the upper right-hand corner. No, I'm not going to step out the car. I feel unsafe. I feel like if I make any sudden movements, my life will be in danger and you're going to shoot and kill me. No, I can see myself in him, So I think I feel bad for the dog. He had a dog in the car too, the lieutenant, and it stated that he had to actually take his dog to the hospital because his dog had inhaled the pepper spray. So, it's just too much going on here. What are y'all saying in the comments? What do y'all have to say? Amanda stated, total power trip. Absolutely. Total power trip. That was completely unnecessary what he did. That did not have to happen. Someone also stated, oh, thank you for your service, Yasmin. Thank you so much. Thank you as well, Amanda. Thank you all so much. Let me go ahead and see here. Oh, Tiffany Marie said, "Hey, Yasmin, how are you doing today? Thanks for talking on the George Floyd case. You're welcome. Have a great, safe, and blessed day, Yasmin. You too as well, Tiffany. Thank you so much for popping in my live stream. Let me also see what you guys are saying. Mama Bubble stated, I've never been asked to step out of the car for a tag. That officer would have done something to him if he stepped out of the car. That I definitely feel the same way. I really do. I really, really do feel the same way. And I feel like the lieutenant definitely acted in a way to where he kept his bearings, because one thing they teach you in military boot camp, it doesn't matter if you're in the Marines, the Army, Coast Guard, Air, it doesn't matter. They teach you to keep your bearings. So when you are in a stressful situation, or when you're in a situation where you're facing adversaries or just a confrontation, anything, they say keep your bearings, meaning keep your temper at bay. Keep your composure. And the entire time that lieutenant did so. Even, I kind of started laughing a little bit when they pepper sprayed him. I laughed a little bit. I chuckled to myself, because when the cop pepper sprayed him, I guess the cop thought that the pepper spray would have, debilitated the lieutenant, and it didn't. We're actually trained and taught in the military, where that's a part of training, dealing with certain things, certain, weapons, certain sprays, certain things like that. We're actually taught to deal with those things and be tolerant to it in the event we're in a situation where we're at war, or any situation where any of those weapons are being used against us. We're used to it, so it's not really going to affect us. So I thought it was kind of funny a little bit when he sprayed him. The cop was probably thinking to himself, like, dang, like I sprayed this guy. He's not tripping. He's not acting crazy. Like, is this air freshener or is this pepper spray? Like, he probably was genuinely confused at the fact that he just didn't even budge. Like, the pepper spray, you can tell it was bothering his eyes, like towards the, let me see if I can pull up a picture, but you can tell it definitely was bothering his eyes and things like that, especially in this picture here. That's when they actually got the ambulance and the medics on the scene, and they were like wiping away, the pepper spray, gently wiping away, because, a lot of the times you're not supposed to even touch your skin after you get sprayed. But it definitely did bother him, but he kept his composure, is my point. So I really want to commend this guy here. I want to commend this lieutenant for keeping his composure, not flying off the handles, not going toe to toe with this stupid cop, and he went to Norfolk and he filed a lawsuit. He did it the right way. And all these cops did was set this man up for a payday. And not only is he going to probably get retirement and, from his time in service, he's going to get benefits, but all y'all did was set this man up for a payday, because more than likely he's going to win the lawsuit. Like, seriously, if there's no other hidden footage or details or anything that goes against this man, this was fully unnecessary behavior. So he's going to win. They're probably going to settle out of court. So all y'all did was set this man up, So again, y'all have to, not y'all, but people in this world who want to be on a power trip, y'all have to stop that. It's starting to backfire. A lot of this stuff is starting to backfire. You can't just do anything to people and think you're going to get away with it. There has to be guidelines, rules, and proper procedures to how things are done. And in this video, I can't even believe he pepper sprayed the man. He wasn't even a freaking threat. He wasn't a threat to anybody. And then on top of that, you pepper sprayed his dog. Now that I'm mad about that too. Y'all pepper sprayed the dog. What the dog got to do with it? He wasn't even driving. So it's like, it's just crazy, man. It's really, really crazy. Thank you all so much. Hey, Joanne, how are you? Welcome to the stream. I'm glad you're here watching and getting all this crazy news. Someone stated that, is there any charges filed against the officer? For right now, I know that I just read the article, and it stated that the officer was fired, and then there is a lawsuit against the officers for excessive force and things like that from the lieutenant. So I want to seriously get updates on that, because I really do feel like he has a case in that moment. He has a case there, and a lot of the times you just have to just be careful who you try to pull a power trip on, And let me go ahead and see what you all are saying. You said the footage was scary. Yeah, it was really scary because the entire time of me watching, I was like holding my breath. I'm like, oh my gosh, like what's gonna happen? Like how many videos have we seen where people are fully compliant and they just get shot anyways? Shot anyways. You know, you get shot if you're fully compliant, you get shot if you're not compliant, you get shot if you're standing, you get shot if you're laying in the bed asleep, like Breonna Taylor, you get shot anyways. So I definitely was, that was scary footage as well. I definitely agree with that. Let me go ahead and see. What else are you guys saying? You stated even the younger cop was looking at the older cop like he was being unreasonable. I did look at that. I think I have like a screen grab of that. Let me see. I think you can partially see the other guy's face in one of these clips. Let me see. One of them. Oh, no, wrong one. You can kind of see him here, not so much, but this is the other cop over here in the right corner. And you can see he's just kind of standing there. He's just kind of standing there, like, not even knowing what to do, because I'm assuming that, the Gutierrez was the head cop at the time. So this other cop that was with him probably felt like he couldn't really do or say anything because he was like maybe going to overstep his boundaries. So yeah, the other cop was even kind of staring off in the side, side-eyeing the whole situation like, man, what are you doing? Amanda said, love hearing your input as a veteran. Thank you so much, Amanda. Thank you so much. Let me go ahead and take this photo off the screen so you all can see me. What are you all also saying in the comment section here? Hey, Samantha, how are you? Welcome to the stream. I hope you all are able to actually rewind the stream to see what things were actually talked about. We talked about some good things today and some crazy things going on in the world right now. Angela Green stated, why was the man pulled over? I never heard. So according to a lot of the news articles that I was reading on, it stated that he was actually pulled over because police believed that he didn't have a tag on his vehicle. And in the actual video, if you go watch the full clip, as the cop is approaching the vehicle of the lieutenant, the body cam shows that he does have a plate that the dealership placed on there. It just wasn't in the general location, which is like the actual plate part, like the bottom part, but it was actually in the top right corner of the vehicle, in the bottom, the back top right corner of the vehicle. And the dealership placed them on there, and they are legal tags. So the cops just looked at the bottom and didn't see it and decided to pull him over and act a fool. But you all are just shooting yourself in the foot, no pun intended, because the plate was caught on the body cam footage. It was there. And I didn't take a screenshot of that. I don't know why. I took a screenshot of everything else, but I didn't take a screenshot of the back of the vehicle at all. I don't think so. So, other than that, I just definitely, want to come on here and just talk about these things. And I just really feel sad for this guy. I really, really do. But let me go ahead and pop in the chat one more time and see what you guys are talking about here. I had a great stream. Wow, it's been like an hour already. It's been an hour since I came on here and live stream. So I really appreciate you guys coming on here. I did as many reminders as I could. I don't know if you all follow me on social media. I do have like my Twitter. I have my Instagram account. And then I also have my YouTube community tab where I post a lot of updates and, things that I have going on. So it's just like, I really, really thank you guys for coming to my channel. If you have any final comments or anything like that, go ahead and say them now. Once again, I had a great time doing this live stream. I'll be doing another live stream pretty soon because I want to have more moderators on my channel. I know a lot of the times I used to have a lot of mods on my channel, but I kind of want to have some new ones because I'm going to start live streaming a lot more often. So with that being said, I want to just have mods on my channel. So if you all want to become a moderator for my channel, make sure you stay tuned to my community tab on here so I can post that update when I'm going to do that live stream. And then during that live stream, whoever wants to be a moderator and be serious about it and not try to, abuse your power, and you seriously want to be here for me in this community, then I will make you a moderator. But you have to make sure that there's responsibilities that come with it. Nothing too crazy, but I definitely just want to make sure we're all on the right page. So I'm glad you all enjoyed this stream. Angela said, thanks for the info, thoughts, and service to our country. Thank you so much, Angela. I'm so happy that you were able to come to the stream. Love this song said, thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. Can't wait to see your next live. Thank you so much. Also, make sure you guys join my Discord. I posted the link on my community tab. I'll repost it, but join my Discord, because if I'm not uploading a video here or if I'm not live streaming, I'm always on Discord talking to all of my YouTube subscribers, and it's free. You don't have to pay anything. Pop on in there and, click on the different tabs I have, and we talk about a lot of things. Mama Bubble said, I'll be there for that one. Okay, so you want to be a moderator to my channel? Okay, cool. That sounds great. All right. Well, it's lit then, right? So I see you guys later. Thank you all so much for being here. Let me see. Someone stated, oh, you're talking about the lieutenant case. You said it was definitely hard to watch. I'm in the UK, so I don't like to say much, but it was totally uncalled for. Exactly. I do think that was totally uncalled for, the entire situation. But you know what? They can't get away with it but for so long before justice will finally be served. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you all so much. I will see you all in my next live stream. And until next time, see you.